Forest Treasures, a journey from acorn to heirloom. Have you ever wondered what it takes to build fine furniture? You know, the kind that develops its own unique personality as it is handed down from one generation to the next? Like your grandmother's old bureau. Let's take a look. Some of our finest examples may have started out many years ago as an acorn or hickory nut, hidden by an ambitious squirrel. Or perhaps they started out as a seed pod, carried on the wind to a fertile patch of soil. Or maybe even as a tiny seedling planted by human hands. By whatever means it began, each young sapling entered the same age-old cycle. Growing slowly at first and absorbing what little light was available on the forest floor, it survived the cold of winter, the droughts of summer, and a host of creatures who like to browse on tender new growth. As the years went by, less competition from surrounding trees allowed it to reach the top of the forest canopy. After many decades of growth, the tree finally reached maturity, providing both food and shelter to the inhabitants of the forest. But trees, like all living things, don't last forever. Even the finest specimens will eventually succumb to the relentless forces of nature, such as storms, insects, and decay. Fortunately, there are hundreds of little trees waiting in the understory for their own turn to grow. That's why thousands of private landowners, lumber companies, and even large corporations believe in something called sustainable forestry.
Increase the value of your sale.
Sustainable forestry is the practice of carefully evaluating the ecology of the forest to determine how the available resources can be managed for optimum benefit in the future, as well as the present.
Yeah, mainly if you just look for this is pretty distinctive. Yeah.
Forestry professionals who have devoted their careers to the study of the forest ecosystem can provide a wide variety of treatment strategies to meet the objectives of the landowner, ranging from selective harvests and thinnings that spur rapid growth of high-quality saw timber to area-wide clear cuts that help promote certain varieties of plants and animals. They can determine whether a tree should be cut or left standing for wildlife habitat, whether it is needed to protect the quality of our rivers and streams, or should simply be left standing for aesthetic reasons. When sound forestry practices are used, tree harvesting has many positive effects on the environment. In a process known as photosynthesis, carbon dioxide molecules are broken down, releasing oxygen and storing carbon as wood fiber. When trees are harvested, the carbon remains stored within wood products instead of being released back into the atmosphere through natural decay. Branches left behind from logging enrich the soil by adding organic matter. Another benefit of removing older trees is the increase of lush new forest growth that provides food and cover for animals. But building fine furniture requires more than just healthy forests. It takes skill, patience, and plenty of good old-fashioned hard work. Trees must be felled, removed from the woods, and transported to a sawmill. There they are cut into boards called lumber. Unlike plastics or metals, wood waste can be converted into many useful secondary products, such as pallets, cardboard boxes, and mulch. Even the paper for your favorite newspapers and magazines is made from wood chips. To be of any value for furniture, though, lumber must be carefully dried and conditioned. This procedure, which can take anywhere from a month to more than a year, often begins outdoors or in open shelters known as air drying sheds. Later, the wood is placed in a carefully controlled environment called a kiln, where it is dried to the desired level. Kiln-dried lumber is suitable for use in indoor furnishings, flooring, staircases, and trim. Cutting, planing, sanding, drilling, mortising, and tenoning are just a few of the many techniques utilized to change boards into beautifully finished furniture. Every operation, whether sizing, shaping, smoothing, or fitting, whether done by hand or with the help of highly specialized machinery, is carefully planned and executed by skilled woodworkers. From simple functional designs to highly ornate carvings, these artisans can transform wood into just about any piece of furniture you can imagine. So whether you're outfitting the whole house or just adding an accessory, please remember this: by buying furniture made from domestic hardwood by people you know and trust, you can ensure that both the furniture and the forest will last for generations to come. Just like Grandma's old bureau.